Hello guys, how are you doing today? Are you good? So, before we start our class, don't forget to subscribe the video and activate notifications to keep improving our English, alright? This class we're gonna work on September 2nd, which the text talks about Anne Frank's life, okay? Detailing her family and how it was when they were sent to the concentration camps during World War II. It also tells how her diary survived and was later found and turned into a bestseller book. Okay? Let's take a look at the verbs. We have to be, to discuss, to gain, to document, to leave, to receive, to write, to transport, to publish, and to translate. Okay? Now guys, we are going to go to the home practice. Home practice are on pages 578 to 581, okay? In this first exercise, you have to change the sentences from the affirmative form into the negative and interrogative form, okay? So let's take a look. Number 1, Anne Frank gained fame posthumously. Negative, Anne Frank didn't gain fame posthumously. Interrogative, did Anne Frank gain fame posthumously? Number 2, Anne Frank documented her life in hiding from 1942 to 1944. Negative, Anne Frank didn't document her life in hiding from 1942 to 1944. Interrogative, did Anne Frank document her life in hiding from 1942 to 1944? Number 3, she lived most of her life near Amsterdam. Negative, she didn't live most of her life near Amsterdam. Interrogative, did she live most of her life near Amsterdam? Number 4, the Nazis gained control over Germany. Negative, the Nazis didn't gain control over Germany. Interrogative, did the Nazis gain control over Germany? Number 5, she lost her citizenship in 1941. She became stateless. Negative, Frank didn't lose her citizenship in 1941. She didn't become stateless. Interrogative, did Frank lose her citizenship in 1941? Did she become stateless? Number 6, the Franks were trapped in Amsterdam. The Franks weren't trapped in Amsterdam. Were the Franks trapped in Amsterdam? Number 7, the family went into hiding. Negative, the family didn't go into hiding. Interrogative, did the family go into hiding? Number 8, Anne kept a diary. Negative, Anne didn't keep a diary. Interrogative, did Anne keep a diary? Number 9, the Franks likely died in February. Negative, the Franks didn't likely die in February. Interrogative, did the Franks likely die in February? Number 10, Otto returned to Amsterdam. Negative, Otto didn't return to Amsterdam. Interrogative, did Otto return to Amsterdam? Number 11, the book was translated from its original Dutch version. The book wasn't translated from its original Dutch version. Interrogative, was the book translated from its original Dutch version? And 12, it was published in English in 1952. The negative, it wasn't published in English in 1952. And the interrogative, was it published in English in 1952? Senior have to summarize the text. So we have the text talks about Anne Frank's life, detailing her family and how it was when they were sent to the concentration camps during World War II. It also tells how her diary survived and was later found and turned into a bestseller book. Okay? And master summarize the text, use regular and irregular verbs, also use accessories and language chunks. The text talks about Anne Frank's life, detailing her family and how it was when they were sent into concentration camps during World War II. It also tells how her diary survived and was later found out and gave birth to a bestseller book. Okay? Now guys, we are going to go to the review. This review, we're going to talk about simple past and we're going to contrast simple past with present perfect. Okay? So, what is simple past about? Simple past talks about actions that were concluded in the past in a specific time. Okay? And the present perfect talks about the actions that were concluded in an unspecific time. Okay? Now going back to simple past, we're going to divide simple past into three groups. Okay? So we have the verb to be, which we're going to use was and were. According to the subject, we are going to use. Verb to be doesn't need an auxiliary verb. So the negative and the interrogative forms, we're going to use the verb to be itself to make it. Okay? And in the other verbs, we have two groups. The group which is the irregular verbs, okay, that we have to follow that classic list to make the affirmative form, and regular verbs that we are going to use verb plus ed as a common rule, verb plus d when we have verbs ending in e, verb plus ied when we have verbs ending in consonant plus y. Okay? Those cases we're going to use when we have the affirmative form. Okay? In the negative and interrogative form, both regular and irregular verbs follow the same idea. We're going to use didn't for the negative and the verb in the base form. The interrogative, we are going to use did and the verb in the base form. Alright? Let's take a look at the examples that we have. So, in affirmative, he published a memoir last year. The present perfect form would be he has published a memoir. The negative, we're going to use he didn't write about his research in 2010. The negative, he hasn't written about this research. Okay? The interrogative, did his book receive good reviews last year? The interrogative of present perfect, has his book received good reviews? Alright? So guys, that's it for today. It was a pleasure to be with you. Don't forget to come to our online classes and see you next time. Bye bye.